Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 1, A House Divided Cannot Stand.
So are these biblical quotes that we're going for? Are these Abraham Lincoln quotes? Are these Lydia Plath quotes? Who are we attributing this to?
I'm going with Lydia Plath.
It's going to be like a Michael Scott, Lydia Plath attributing to Abraham Lincoln, attributing to...
That was the time that she really went downhill and had to go on that long walk down the dirt road to talk to God for, 3 days. She disappeared.
That was a season 1 meltdown, yeah.
All right, this is a new season of Sister Wives. We are back. We want to welcome back our returning listeners, all of you who are new. We have been here since 2020, breaking down what's been happening with the Brown family.
It's been a long road. We finished out our rewatch, so we are all caught up. Seasons 1 through 18 before this.
That's unbelievable.
That is hard to believe. Hard to fathom.
The amount of hours that have been put into watching and recapping Sister Wives at this point.
Pretty significant.
Good portion of our lives.
Very, very impressive. What's not impressive is the streaming situation this season, though.
We did not get a chance to address this before the first episode dropped because they started telling everyone about it, 2 days before the season was supposed to drop? But if you want to watch on a streaming service like Max or Discovery Plus, the episodes are not going to be dropping on Sunday night when they air on cable. You're going to have to wait until Monday.
It's going to slightly adjust our watch-along schedule because we were going to do those on Sunday nights, but now we're just going to bump them to Monday night instead. So that way we can all still get the shared viewing experience, but we'll just make sure that we allow enough time for everybody to catch up on those streaming services, since that's where most of these people have been watching these things.
And those watch-alongs happen over on our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod. You just connect to the Discord, and that's where we're chatting it up with each other. If you want more free content, though, we have started another podcast called Surviving Reality.
We've been recapping Welcome to Plathville in its entirety this season. We also had a couple other episodes. We talked through Gypsy Rose content. We talked through Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
The entire season.
The whole thing.
All 8 episodes.
Went through it a little too quick.
So there's that to listen to now. And then we are going to be recapping the entire season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So head over there and smash the subscribe button.
Or just gently press it. You don't have to smash it. You could, be respectful in that way too.
Another exciting announcement, we have launched a merch store over on Etsy.
I'm pretty sure, because when we first opened it to our patrons, I don't know if there were just too many hits on the website.
We had a My Sister Wives Closet situation.
Too many orders, too many hits. But they had to shut her down. Etsy pulled the plug on us. Only took a day or so. So we've got that back up and running. So feel free to go over to our Etsy store, Surviving Pod Shop. You can find the link in the episode description.
And if you join our Patreon through the end of the month, you will get a discount code for 10% off. So just another consideration. You can listen to these episodes ad-free and early, and you could get a discount for the new merch items. What else? I think that covers us off on pretty much everything. Getting you up to date on what's been going on the pod since maybe you've been gone for a while.
There has been, several developments.
We've been here all along.
Never left. But the TLC description for this one is: things get awkward as Kody, Robyn, and Christine see each other for the first time in months at Mykelti's baby sprinkle. Meri tells her best friend, not her best friend, just her regular friend. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Jen with 2 N's is her best friend, Corey.
Yeah, I don't know why I escalated that so quickly. Okay. Meri tells her friend, Brandy, that she's done with Kody. Janelle reveals that she's looking at buying property in Montana.
Which we know didn't happen. So I love a storyline that we know doesn't actually work out.
It's already cooked, shelved, it's done.
Something to really get invested in.
I wonder what her reasons are why she's not going to buy the property in Montana. Spoiler alert. That's what we have to look forward to. That's going to be the new information that we have divulged to us as part of this process. But
wait.
Let's get the Carly episode rewrite description so we know what's really going on.
Kody and Robyn sprinkle Mykelti's twins with the touch of narcissism. Meri gets uncensored about her marriage. Christine and Janelle continue to conspire to ice Kody out of the family.
You can bleep that if you want.
I love Merisance 2.0. She's back and better than ever.
Okay, we have been coming right off the heels of our rewatch that we wrapped up season 13. And that was the season of Meri. That was the original Merisance. Because 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, Meri was a little...
That sounds a little pathetic when you put it that way.
She kind of took a step back. Towards the end of 18, she did kind of, find her voice again. But it took Christine leaving to really give Meri the confidence that she will not be ridiculed and judged as harshly as Kody convinced her she would be.
All right, you want to get this pony in the water? Let's start this episode.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think we are ready to go.
Well, we have some serious things to address before we get into the episode. And I know one of the things that everyone has been wondering about is, first of all, will this season include Garrison's passing? It was not in the trailer, but it was in the press release that TLC had as like a companion to the trailer that dropped. So not a lot of people saw it, but it's going to be addressed in the season. And obviously the opening of the episode, we had the screen come up that sets the tone that we're way back in 2022 still.
Yeah, it's if anybody is just dropping in or if they had heard the news and wanted to see what's going on, it might be confusing because this is very old footage. The show timeline has always been super far behind, so they have to kind of frame that for us initially here so we kind of know what's going on as far as where we are in the story. To be fair, they did jump ahead in the timeline because I think it's been a whole week since that conversation that took place at the end of season 18. So that's
7 days.
That's pretty far for them to jump forward in just one episode.
That was something that people were questioning was, would they do that to get us closer to current timeline because of what happened with Garrison? No, we're going to get there somehow.
Well, here's the problem. Yeah, they already aired Christine and David's wedding, too, which that was another jump forward in time, significant jump forward, about a year in where we are in the show.
That is very confusing to people because now we're going back. We're going to meet David.
Yeah, we're back and forth. We're getting flippin' whiplash over here.
So the screen addresses the fact that Garrison passed away on March 5th, 2024, and then has a message about how he was greatly loved and he is missed. Now, that is not, to our understanding, going to be it. Like, that is not all that is going to be addressed in this season. They seem to be handling this much like they did with COVID, where every episode we got the screen at the beginning of the episode that clarified when they were filming and what the situation was with COVID. My guess is they're going to continue this because there may be footage with Garrison in it from 2022, well, 2022 or 2023.
Yeah, hopefully we're not going back to 2002. That would be very, very far back in the timeline for us.
We do also want to let you know that once we get into an episode where they're addressing Garrison's passing, we'll add trigger warnings and timestamps in the show notes for you so that if you don't want to listen to those parts of the episode, you can skip ahead, because totally understand this is obviously a very sensitive topic and something that has impacted a lot of people's lives. So we want to make sure that everybody feels like this is a comfortable, safe space to continue listening.
Well, then they hit us with the previously on.
Oh, I skipped over that,
so
but
that
go ahead, Corey.
No, yeah, it's Meri's done. It took her long enough, and now it's time to tell her story. And I think that's what the basis of this episode is. We're kind of setting up what this arc is going to be for the rest of the season here for Meri. I'm sure there was some other stuff in there too.
So you say, was that the whole thing?
That was the only tidbits of information that I got that were useful for us, because everything else was from like the last episode of season 18.
Robyn crying on the bench.
Robyn crying on the bench. Meri had just
Classic.
broken up with her, so this is very big deal for her. Christine's loving divorce. Janelle is done with Kody. Everybody's over it. Everybody is sick of dealing with and interacting with Kody in any way, shape, or form. And Cody's trying to figure out how he can still claw his way back into some of these relationships, but not look like it's his idea. It's Robyn's idea, because it's Robyn's dream to have the whole family all together. Sister wives in rocking chairs looking at that mountain.
We get the new promo photos at the beginning.
The photos. Okay, yeah. And there was a 3-ring drop.
We did finally.
On the Sister Wives title card there.
Meri looks 15 years younger, does she not?
It's like a weight has been lifted from her soul.
This is like a magical thing that happens to women when they break up with Kody Brown. Like, what would happen to Robyn if she left him?
It's a divorce glow up is what happens.
I think she needs to consider it.
I think Christine needs to chill with the red lipstick. She's looking a little Mariah Plath.
Oh, you didn't like it? I was going to say she's got her sexy red lip on because this is going to be the season where she gets lusty for David.
Oh my, yeah, she's going to courting.
Yes, our sexy beast.
Oh, freaky
Our
bitch.
freaky bitch is back and better than
yes.
ever.
Yes, please.
She's ready to be unleashed.
And to be fair, Robyn's photo, she looked good.
She looked healthy.
She looked
That's the
lively. Yeah, there was a soul in her still.
Oh, did you think so? I thought maybe still not.
Somewhere in there.
Still not there.
It's distant.
Behind the eyes.
Oh, it's tucked in the back. You got to kind of reach in there and kind of feel, well, maybe not. I hope not.
I'm just going to go with she looked healthy.
Okay, good. Good. Well,
We
I feel like
skipped Janelle.
that could be.
It's a backhanded compliment. Did you pick up on it?
Is that what you're going for, Meri? Okay, thank you.
Did you just call me Barry or Mary?
Yeah, Barry.
Okay.
Well, is it Barry or is it Burry or is it?
Hey,
Oh.
let's not get on that.
It's a whole new season. I don't think we need to bring back the Meri and Murray and Millions.
It's not Mary.
discussion.
It's Mary.
Okay.
Janelle, though, her arch nemesis, she looks like a hot legal secretary.
Oh,
That's what I'm picking up. But
the paralegal who's staying late.
sleeping with the boss, maybe?
Oh, trying to make partner.
First of all, that's a terrible depiction of women. That is nothing Janelle would ever do.
Oh, of course. Yeah. She's way stronger.
She
than that.
owns she's not the legal secretary.
No.
She, like you said, she owns the firm at this point.
She is partner. She's the one making inappropriate advances at her interns.
That's a future that we hope for Janelle.
Is that empowering?
No.
It will be today. So yeah, Kody looks just pure evil.
Okay.
What was your read on that?
Does he not look like Johnny Fairplay from Survivor in the early 2000s? Remember the guy who was a wrestler?
Johnny Fairplay?
Am I the only person who... that's a deep cut.
Wow. Yeah, that is going way, way beyond.
I'm going to need
anything
you to
I've
Google
heard.
a picture of him.
I am like surface level Survivor. I remember the first season. That was about it.
He was the villain on that season, though, so maybe that is appropriate.
Okay, I remember like the last tribal council meeting of the first season. That's what I remember.
He wasn't, yeah, that...
I remember the
season.
host jumping on the jet ski and riding from...
Jeff Probst, he has a name.
Okay, yeah, but I don't remember that. So yeah, and he took the results of the tribal council meeting and then rode a jet ski all the way to New York. I saw it happen with my own eyes. You can't tell me that was a trick of editing. I saw it on TV. It happened.
Can you please Google a picture of Johnny Fairplay? I just need you to know.
Johnny Fairplay? Oh, wow. Okay.
It's accurate, strikingly accurate, is it not?
Wow. Yeah.
They got the same hair care routine.
Maybe Kody should start implementing a fedora into his style here.
That would have really topped things off.
That would fix a lot of problems that are going on with Kody's look right now. We've got suggestions. If you got issues, we've got answers.
All right, so like you said, it's been 7 days since...
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Yeah, it has been.
Kody's still pretty raw from being broken up with 3 times in a row.
Third time's the charm, though. Plural marriage is over. It's done. And Kody is now entering into a new phase of narcissistic collapse disorder. It's the identity crisis. Who am I without this fake family that I've built up over the years?
Who am I without all these people to praise me and tell me that I am good? Because now I'm starting to think maybe I'm not.
He needs to join Worthy Up.
Yes.
Would Meri allow him to join Worthy Up? Is this a scenario that she is prepared to handle?
I don't know. Well, she wasn't able to help him achieve new levels of, what is it, like self? I don't know exactly what Worthy Up does. But
Still don't.
It wasn't able to do it, and they weren't able to do it in their marriage together. So
They weren't able to do a lot of things together in their marriage.
no, I feel like he'd be an energy vampire in that group.
He needs the outward support to prop him up and convince him that he's a good person, because that's what he's getting from Robyn right now. She's the only one left in his corner.
It's no surprise to anyone they still need to pay off Coyote Pass, and apparently there's a big payment due, and the piper is piping.
Yeah, you got to pay the piper. Yeah.
He's coming looking for that money.
Oh, boy.
So what do Kody and Robyn do? They don't go to the bank. Instead, they drive over to stand around and look at Coyote Pass in the mountain.
Getting swarmed by bugs. There are so many bugs
I can't live there.
just flurrying around Robyn in a couple of these shots.
Are they attracted to her for some reason?
What are you saying? Is there an odor that's happening, or what is the implication behind that?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know that she smells. I think she smells like a lot of cheap perfume.
Yeah, that should repel a lot of the bugs, right?
No.
It attracts?
attracts.
Oh, dear.
They like the smell of certain things. She's got a lot of TJ Maxx expired perfume on.
Was not safe to be tested beforehand, so it just went straight onto the shelves.
Did she get lip filler before this or something? Why does it look like
Oh, the herpaderp?
it's either those or some fresh injection marks, or it's just a very large cold sore? It's a large cold sore.
I think it's
isn't
a
it?
cold sore. Yeah, because her lips, she doesn't look like she's been doing filler or Botox.
No. Are the producers trolling them at this point? We get the opening scene with them, and she has the largest cold sore we've ever seen on anyone in this family.
We couldn't have picked another day? Maybe come back for those confessionals? For do some cover up, something.
I gotta tell you, I feel like I would refuse to film. She has to know people. This is the first thing that people took away from this episode. Robyn has a cold sore.
Pretty much. And now we're trying to figure out, do we still build here? Because now we're just people who own land. And I would like to interject and remind Kody, technically you don't own it. If you are on the verge of losing the land entirely because you haven't been able to pay for it on the crap deal that you made, you don't own land.
You're gonna lose it.
You're just borrowing it until you give it back to the bank.
Well, maybe it's good they didn't build. Well, they couldn't build anything until they paid it off. That was the whole point, right?
That's the catch-22. We're in a vicious cycle right now.
Why does Robyn still think that Meri's gonna live out here?
Robyn has assessed that from their conversation last week, she didn't hear a no from Meri about living out here on Coyote Pass. I think it was pretty clear that Meri's not interested in living out here next to you guys or with you guys.
No, she wants her money back.
She wants that money.
Totally missed on Robyn.
Different. Why would Meri still be here? She's not. It's over.
So I guess Robyn's still in the mindset because she thinks that Kody can still fix things with certain wives. She's given up on Christine at this point.
Oh, yeah. Christine is gone.
But the Meri thing's very fresh. So she's really still thinking that it can happen.
She's hanging
They
on.
can suck her back in.
Well, yeah, and then between her and also Janelle, even though Robyn's kind of about Janelle, living on a property near Janelle with Janelle, but I think you could still win her back, Kody.
Meanwhile, little do they know, Meri is busy working on getting unsealed from her marriage with them. And Janelle is completely at peace with her new life.
She's finally happy. But Robyn is not happy because it's exactly what we suspected. Every time she looks out her bedroom window, she sees all the ghosts of her sister wives out on Coyote Pass on the land, all these houses, these places, these spots, the plans that they had for this wonderful domain that they were building out here. And this is just going to be too traumatic to stay in this space for her.
I know that was one of our original thoughts on maybe why the Shira Chateau was up for sale, but I'm becoming more convinced of it after hearing her say that.
And Robyn looks so stressed. By comparison, if you're looking at Christine's confessional footage, Meri's, Janelle's, they are all glowing, beaming. They are living their best lives now. And Robyn is so drained.
Well, I'm telling you, Kody is an energy vampire.
That's exactly what's happening.
They're still trying to figure out, where did we go wrong? And Kody proposes that maybe the Biggie Housie was the catalyst, because maybe that idea was, I don't know, like a little selfish or something.
In hindsight, Kody is willing to admit he understands how that could be seen as a little selfish.
Do you believe him about that? Because I don't know if I do.
No, I think it was the beginning of the end. Well, no, actually, you can keep going back. How far back do we want to go for the beginning of the end?
Oh, well, for sure, that's not the thing that led to the downfall of all these relationships. But do you believe him that he's being genuine about thinking that that was the thing that started it all, or that it was selfish? That's the part that I don't necessarily think is actually true.
I don't think he thinks it was selfish. I think he's saying that to earn points and to get back into good graces in some, public opinion sort of ways, I guess, because there's no way that he thinks that that was it. It was the final straw, but that wasn't the inciting incident that led to the demise of these relationships.
See, I feel like that was for an audience of one, and her name is Robyn Alice Brown. And the whole reason he brought that up is because he knows that she will then respond with, "No, Kody, you just wanted to have your family all together." He's trying to paint all of the other wives as ripping the family apart or keeping them away from him. So I think he wants her to make him feel like he was trying to do something to keep them all together.
You were doing your best, Kody. I'm so proud of you. Do you have any bug spray?
I'm telling you, much like, as we said, an energy vampire who sucks all the energy out of the room, he's looking for Robyn to give him the praise that he needs. He's fishing for a compliment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. But if you ask Janelle what's going on, for her, the beginning of the end was Kody's relationship that was falling apart with her kids. Because if you remember, that's always been Janelle's stance, that despite all of the horrible shortcomings that Kody has as a husband, at least he was a great dad to her kids. And then that excuse evaporated for her. She was no longer able to go to that, so she was out of reasons to defend him.
I feel like that was pretty clear to everybody who was watching the show. She was one of his biggest defenders. He thinks that Robyn is the one who comes to his defense. Janelle made so many excuses for him over the years.
I think Robyn catered to him, but I don't think... And I mean, she does defend him now, because even in a couple of spots this episode, there were a few times where she was making up excuses and reasoning things away for him in his defense. But yeah, I feel like Janelle was doing that for a long time.
Should we head to Salt Lake City, where we're having a baby sprinkle today for Tony Mykelti, because Mykelti is still pregnant?
Even though we saw the twins at Christine and David's wedding in January, that's okay. Ignore that footage. Pretend like you didn't see it. They're still in there.
They're having this baby sprinkle. It's themed Double Down because they're twins, get it?
Well, it was roll the dice party is what it was labeled as on some of the signs. And then we're hearing that the theme is Double Down.
Look, there's only so many places you can get decorations for a theme where you're reaching a little bit. It's probably really hard to find decorations for a twin baby shower.
Yeah, so they had to make their own theme instead. But they had my interest with the bagels. They had a little spread
Not mine.
that was going on. I
spotted those things, and I knew right away.
Hold, please. They had my interest with the bagels. And then upon further inspection, they lost me.
I have so much trauma from having worked at a place where we never had time to eat, and one day a week, they would buy us bagels from Einstein's Bagels. And as soon as I saw those blurred out containers of cream cheese, I said, this is fucking Einstein's Bagels.
And it was.
It definitely
is.
It 1,000% was.
Yeah. So that hit home for us in a couple different ways. I've never been more disappointed in a bagel than I've been at Einstein Bagels.
They're very much plasticky. I'm sorry for all of you who don't have a place to seek a good bagel out, but those are not it.
Try again. All right. So yeah, for the second and third baby, this is where we learn about the sprinkle, even though, again, I cannot condone that term. Not on board with it. Maybe we'll call it a baby spritzer. I'm still on with the spritzer.
A spritzer's fun.
Yeah. Spritzer sounds way cooler.
It's more fun for everyone else who's coming to
everybody.
The baby shower.
Sorry, Mykelti. None for you, but that's okay.
Did you want to explain it? So they're having your first baby.
The first baby's a shower.
Then you get a sprinkle. Even though I would say this isn't really a sprinkle because you need double everything.
Yeah, wouldn't this still be a shower then? And if you're having 2 children, I don't think a sprinkle is going to suffice on the coverage that's happening. It seems like it's not adding up for me. If we're doubling down, it's not adding up.
It looked like a party that they had just so they could film something, in my opinion.
That too.
Did you see any gifts? I didn't see any gifts.
I think there were gifts because Kody brought something in. He made a big show of it. He handed it to Tony. I don't know if there was a specific place, if Mama Plath was directing where the presents needed to go, if there was a specific table.
He was like, open Christine's and then mine.
Mine's really important. Can you put yours on the floor? Mary's not invited, though.
Oh, I was going to say, who's here? So we know that Mykelti doesn't like Meri. I mean, neither does anyone else in the family.
Well, they didn't say that, though.
No, they didn't. But Christine has addressed it in the past.
Oh, yeah. But they didn't mention it here because what they needed to make us abundantly aware of is that Janelle definitely was invited. She just was unable to attend. So that was Janelle's choice. Regrettably, she had to RSVP a no. But Meri did not even receive an invite.
Kody's going to complain a lot this season about how he doesn't know what's going on with any of the family. And I'm like, well, welcome to Meri's world. No one has been telling her shit for the past 10 to 12 years.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, and then Meri hasn't been telling anybody anything either because she hasn't divulged to anyone that the breakup conversation happened on Coyote Pass. She might have gotten an invite then.
You know, I'm such a messy bitch that would have been the first thing I did when I got in the car. I wouldn't even have put the car in reverse yet.
Group text.
I would have been like, just broke up with Kody.
Just broke up with Robyn.
Chat.
Just broke up with Robyn. Kody was there too.
Well, that would be the thing I want to tell him. Robyn stayed the whole time. We saw how shocked Christine was.
Almost. Most of the time. Except for the really important parts when we decided to come to terms and say, yeah, I think we're done.
Kody and Robyn did get an invite. I mean, you kind of spoiled that since Kody showed up with a gift.
Well, I mean, they are Mykelti's favorite parents.
At least for now.
For now.
This is the first time that Christine is going to come face to face with them since she left.
I'm sorry. This is the first time that Christine is going to be in the same room with them since the knife in the kidneys. I guess you could call it a conversation, but it was more of a Kody meltdown.
Well, didn't they come to the breakup at the breakup?
Oh, God, yeah.
The goodbye at her house?
That was weirder. So I guess, I mean, she's saying that
they literally came to face at that because they just stood on opposite sides and stared at each other.
Well, no, remember Kody poked his head in through her kitchen window and scared the hell out of her? Yeah. Terrifying. Here's Kody.
You know who's the nervous one, though? Kody and Robyn. Because everyone is just so mean to them that they're worried about how this is going to go down.
There's a lot of animosity that's been building up, mostly on Kody's side, because Christine got the better of him, and he's still bitter about it. Because if Christine's a freaky bitch, Kody's a petty bitch.
Yes, he is. Robyn's worse. I was very annoyed about the comments that she made about how she isn't going to push herself on Christine. Was that it?
Yeah, it was the last thing that's been ringing in Robyn's ears was from the knife in the kidneys chat when Christine said she doesn't want a relationship with Robyn or her kids, even though that's not what she said at all.
No.
But that's okay. That's what Robyn heard.
And also, you've been pushing yourself on her for the past, this is 2022, 12 years, since 2010. So why stop now?
Yeah, now we're going to establish boundaries?
But also, it has to be said in a way where it's like, well, she's keeping me from being friendly to her because if the ball was in my court, if it was me deciding what to do, I would have a relationship with her. But she doesn't want that because I'm the victim in everything.
It's a very strategic play. I think, for Robyn. Not too far outside the playbook that we've seen from her in the past.
I don't know. I feel like Christine's over there playing chess with Tony, and Robyn's playing checkers.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I think's going on here.
But I was very confused in this, too, with Kody and Robyn's arrival. Kody is handing a present to Tony. Tony's greeting them. Kody is walking up and speaking Spanish to children?
That was Avalon.
Okay. Why? Why, though?
Well, I think she's being raised bilingual.
Okie dokie.
But also, still why? She's like, I'm sorry, who are you, sir?
Not my abuelo. Me llamo no Kody.
Of course, no one says hello to each other, like as far as Robyn, Christine, and Kody go. They're just respecting each other's boundaries, and they spend the rest of the time just on opposite sides of the room.
You got to keep them separated. And this was where I thought they were kind of sprinkling in maybe some Christine villain stuff, because she's talking about how she's not here to be friendly with them either. So if they want to say something, cool, but she's not going to go over and pretend like everything's okay, because it's not. She doesn't want to be nice to them.
I kind of love that, though, because Christine has spent so much of her life pretending that I'm here for her just doing what she actually wants to do.
Yeah, she's not here for it anymore.
And
for the fake.
It would be disingenuous. And that's what Robyn is. And that's the thing I don't like about her.
Let's not align with that. Yeah. Don't go stooping to that level there. But who is this 8-year-old child who's dealing cards at the table? Whatever table Kody's at. Are we hiring these people? Are these people that we know? I've never seen these people before. Is it family members?
You think they have like a small child who's just really good at blackjack?
Counting cards. Yeah, they're dealing.
He's got a future ahead of him in Vegas.
No, but this is where we find out the real issue here. Kody and Robyn, they are struggling in their relationship. We are paving the way for a season of turmoil between the king and the queen.
Okay, I'm going to need Robyn to learn how to pronounce having instead of halving. I'm having to keep Kody from sabotaging our relationship.
Halving, meaning she needs to diminish his efforts in half.
It's real hard on the F's. It's every single time she says it, it irks me.
Well, there's an expectation now where Kody has been rejected by 3 of his wives, the 3 original wives, and now he's just waiting for Robyn to reject him too. That's the mentality that Kody's going with. So he's not in control of his actions anymore. He's just reacting to all of this rejection, and he's taking it out on Robyn.
I still don't feel bad for her.
No, not at all. You've made your bed. This was your play all along. I was wondering, how long is it going to take Kody to realize, oh, Christine was the one who was setting all this stuff up, and Robyn was just taking credit for it? Because he was constantly giving Robyn the credit for all of these things that the other wives did and contributed to the family system. So I don't know how long it's going to take Kody to realize when it's just those 2 sitting at home not doing anything, they're going to be shrugging their shoulders saying, gee, I wonder why it's like this.
Yeah, but he's already created another narrative, which is that the wives, the ex-wives, Janelle and Christine, are saying things to their kids that are keeping their kids from wanting to interact with him. So now it's like, well, there's nothing we could do anyway because nobody likes us because they're being told fake things about us.
Well, and everyone's against us too. Yeah, it is very us versus them mentality that's going on full display here.
I was frightened by Mykelti waving the knife around in the kitchen.
Okay, if you're going to stand between Christine and Kody in the kitchen when they're not talking to each other, I don't think you need to be holding a butcher knife and waving it around.
Also, I don't think I would be able to cut the cake without making a comment about a knife in the kidneys.
Yeah, you'd have to warn Kody. Take a couple steps back. I don't want this to end up in your kidneys, sir.
At least she kept it in her hand so it was secure.
Yeah, she didn't set it down, luckily.
Nobody could go picking it up.
Yeah.
This is just the start of a new beginning for this family, though, where it's going to be like this. They're going to have to be in shared spaces together. This is only the beginning of it. We have a wedding coming up. The babies are going to be born. There are a lot more opportunities in life where we're going to have to be together, even though we don't like one another.
I think my favorite part in this was when Kody was complaining about how Janelle and Christine are trashing him, and they cut to photos of Janelle and Christine just beaming. They're so happy. They're so excited to be together. And I love how Cody's interpretation of this is that is the ultimate betrayal to him, because Christine and Janelle never even got along. He worked so hard to keep everyone at odds with each other that they wouldn't have this relationship. And now they do, when they weren't even friendly, when they were sister wives. It's insulting to him.
They live rent-free in his head.
Oh my God, do they ever?
He thinks about it constantly. And that's the next segment, is the two of them. It's another moving day for the Brown family, of course. Isabel was living in North Carolina with Maddie and Caleb going to school. She's decided to transfer to a school in Utah, so she's going to be moving to Salt Lake City. And not only is Christine here to help her move, Janelle is here as well.
Nobody's missing Kody. And Kody is finding out the producers are telling him, yeah, Janelle helped Isabel move because it was in North Carolina. It was with Maddie. So yeah, Janelle and Christine were both helping Isabel move.
I'm finding this so comical that he is now finding out things that are happening in the family through the producers who are trying to ask him questions about it to get his reaction to things. And he is so in the dark about everything that he's finding this information out for the first time from this person on the show.
Well, and it's been happening for a while, where I think that that's always been Cody's view, is that the mothers of his children are the arbiters of those relationships between him and his children. So then why are you still holding these women accountable for your relationships with your children with them after you're divorced? That's not going to work, dude. Like, that's not how this is set up to be. They're done.
So that's my whole issue with Kody, is that, first of all, the belief that the wives are trashing him, then go show your children that you're not the person that they're portraying you to be, if that's what you think is happening. He doesn't do that. Then also, you don't have anyone who is telling you what's going on in your kids' lives. So use your phone and text them or call them and find out. He's also incapable of that. So stop complaining, because it is on you at the end of the day, which is what Christine's been saying for a while. Like, you're a parent. You're just as capable of doing these things. There's a bigger piece of news, though, that we learned here, which is Maddie is pregnant.
Didn't she have that baby too?
Yep, another baby that's born.
Already out.
We didn't really care that much. So she's pregnant. She's helping them move.
She's lifting and moving. There's a little bit too much strenuous activity here. Janelle's getting concerned. Please sit down.
She's used to this. How many times has she moved in this family? Her body is built for this.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I think she would have a little bit more of a capacity for this.
It's muscle memory at this point.
There's no risk here. But Janelle and Christine aren't the only wives who are trashing Kody this episode. We also check in with Meri, who happens to be in Vegas for business, like you do.
No, it's because she had to drive hours to finally find someone who wanted to film with her, who was a friend.
I'm surprised it wasn't Nancy. We didn't stop in for a little catch-up.
Jen. Why did they not give us Jen? Why are you withholding her from us after the talkbacks?
Okay, so there was a photo of Meri and Brandy and Jen, because we're at Brandy's house. This is Meri's friend that we're being introduced to, and her husband, Tim. I guess they're in Vegas. Okay, cool. So they know Jen, but yeah, they're withholding the Jen from us. They want Meri to be able to give the snark on her own. I think that was what they were afraid of initially. Jen needed to be the mouthpiece for Meri to say the things that Meri was too afraid to say. But now we got Meri just popping off over here.
Brandy has this giant glass of lemonade. Was that ironic? Was that on purpose? Does she know that that's funny?
Oh, Beyonce lemonade, you mean?
No, Kody with his lemons.
Oh, the lemons. Okay, see, I took it as a different interpretation there.
I guess it works in both
Yeah,
cases.
it's got
here.
a couple of different... There's layers to that symbolism.
The whole reason Meri is here, though, is to tell Brandy that she's done with Kody. And much like everyone else who was watching the show last season, Brandy's just like, wow, it's about time.
Yeah, where have you been, Meri?
Thanks for catching up with the rest of us, finally.
It's been over for a very long time, but I'm glad that you finally got the memo. So before we get into that conversation, there was kind of a shuffle here. We kind of flipped back and forth between a couple different storylines. So here, they made the drive from North Carolina with Isabel's move, in 3 days, which seems terrible, but that's got to be record time for the Brown family traveling situation.
Does it? I was like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know how far distance that is.
North Carolina to Flagstaff? That's pretty, no, it was Salt Lake.
Yeah. I don't know. How many days does that take?
That's
I guess 3. They made it in 3.
I mean, 31 hours of driving in 3 days?
Like 10 hours a day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Wow. They were driving like Amber Portwood's boyfriend trying to get away from her.
Oh, boy.
Gary number 2.
Similar path, too. Yeah. That was North Carolina to, same road.
It was the same start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like that heading that direction, because I think he ended up out west, too.
Yeah, he did. Well, Mykelti comes over because she's got Avalon with her and all the little cousins are here. So they're all going to see each other. They don't really remember one another. Much like how Robyn's children don't remember the rest of the family.
Well, they're still little, too. I don't think they realize all the connections here, the familial relations.
Too many people.
They're not 7 years old with a pacifier here. These are actual toddler children, not just Robyn's toddlers.
Is that why Ari can't be here?
It's different.
So clearly part of this trip is to see family, but Maddie does not have a certain someone on her list to go visit while she's here. She is on the outs with Kody, which is big news, clearly, because he must be devastated about losing that connection to Caleb.
Yeah, but he's not going to talk about it on camera. He's going to get way too emotional just thinking about that loss. He's not going to do it. Janelle explained some of the reasoning behind this, where Maddie kind of drew a line in the sand and was saying that Kody needed to be a consistent presence in her children's life as a grandfather, not this in and out, wishy-washy, whenever it works for him sort of arrangement that he's had. But that was the kind of dad that he was to her. Everything was on his terms of when he was going to come over. Part-time dad has been kind of his role his entire life.
Why wouldn't he be a part-time grandpa then?
Yeah, I don't understand why she had a different expectation of that. But hey, voice that. If you have a different expectation and she's making this clear, he has made it clear that he has no interest in that. So the divide grew and they kind of went their separate ways here, as it seems.
Which she actually talked a lot about this in a podcast that she did. What was that, like sometime last year? Where she talked about this whole situation. So this actually isn't new information to anybody who heard that episode. By the way, that wasn't us. I don't remember whose podcast it was, but
it was like one of Maddie's friends. Yeah. Who has a podcast.
It was someone.
Yeah.
It seemed like someone she knew. Anyway. So yeah, Kody doesn't want to talk about it on camera. Robyn does though.
Yeah. They didn't get their story straight before they went in for the confessionals on this one.
No. This was a topic that she didn't know was off limits. And of course, she's going to blame the kids.
Yeah, we might as well go ahead and we'll build up some defenses for Kody along the way. And then the kids need to try harder, too. It's the kids' fault.
She has a lot of opinions about how there needs to be an effort made on both sides in all relationships. But I think the problem is that the kids feel like their entire lives, they've been making the effort to get their dad interested in their lives, and it hasn't worked. So, I don't know. I think you're at a point of no return. And also, Kody seems to be the one who never engages back.
Yeah, it's like it's not sustainable. As soon as it becomes work for Kody, he's lost interest. He's going to go to the next thing. Wherever it's easiest, that's where he's going to end up. And that's why he's been at Robyn's for the last 10 years.
It is so ridiculous that they're still making Mykelti wear that fake pregnancy belly in her jogging head.
For the isolated interviews.
First of all, she has lost a ton of weight after having the babies.
Yes.
And so she's very visibly not pregnant anymore. And then we just still have this bump. Although the one that she had on in this looked a little more accurately rounder. They had that pillow situation.
Yeah, that one was a little frumpy.
It was very obviously a square pillow.
Yes, that was just shoved under a shirt. There was nothing else going on there.
At least get a circular pillow. Come on. We need to up the budget a little bit from production here.
But with the twins, yeah, they needed a bigger... I'm not going to get into it.
She finally knows when these babies are coming. She's got a date that she's going to be induced. So that means start the clock on Christine knowing that she's going to have to hang out with Robyn again.
Have dates to get your babies induced.
She's got a date with Robyn.
But Mykelti's just kind of looking back and thinking fondly, missing the family that they used to be. when Robyn joined the family. And we did have a Fajita Cantina sign spotting.
Yes.
In this one, we flashed back, and that was some season 1 footage over there.
Well, it's been that long since they've all been happy together, I guess.
It took that long, to figure it out. But a lot's been going on. Isabel's moving. We got an unnamed wedding that we're participating in. It was Logan's, but they're not going to say it because the film crew was not invited.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to address it all, because that was the wedding where Robyn and Kody sat in the back row. Well, it wasn't really the back row. There was like there was a space between, I guess, where there were more chairs that were out of the frame of the photo, but they were in the furthest row in the back that we could see.
And they were not up front where the rest of the wives were.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting, too.
Scandal.
Yeah. So there was an implied separation that was already building from that. But now we're talking about Maddie is sort of revealing. It's mostly Christine kind of leading in conversation here because Maddie can't be bothered to film on camera. She has to be told what to say by Christine on
Is
there.
everyone that bad at this, or they just really don't want to be here?
I think she just doesn't care. She's pregnant. They've just been driving for 3 days. I think we're over it.
I would be like, let me come back here in 72 hours.
I don't want to talk about this right now, but I think this is just adding to the narrative that Kody is building in his mind where the wives are influencing the children, these 30-year-old adults.
We're even seeing Christine feed them lines on camera.
That's what I'm saying. These 30-year-old children who are having babies of their own and living their own lives as individual adults, they're being brainwashed. It's a real concern.
Well, there are other plans. They're going to go to this wedding, and then they're going to go look at some land in Montana because I guess it's just very centrally located to where they are. Well,
we might as well. We're swinging on by to Montana. It's just a quick detour.
Putting a lot of miles on these cars.
If we thought that was a far drive from North Carolina to Salt Lake.
So I guess at some point there was a plan for Maddie and Caleb to possibly purchase land to build on in Montana, which we know, at least to this point, hasn't happened. And Janelle's going to tag along because she may be giving up on the dream of Coyote Pass.
It's just another 10-hour drive. It's, we're right there, basically. You just go north instead of east. You're fine. You're bound to bump into it. We know Janelle's not going to buy land in Montana because it doesn't end up happening. But it will be interesting, I guess, to see the reasons why she doesn't want to buy. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to come down to.
No, I'm more interested in seeing her cash out on the Coyote Pass property because she wants to get that money so that she can move on.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. And Christine already knows. She knows Kody. That's why she decided to say, hey, you can have the land, Coyote Pass. I don't even want to be involved in the litigation process that's about to start with that. I will just take the money from my house that's being sold because it's in my name and you signed it over to me, and we'll just call it even.
She knows that Cody's going to screw them over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's already worried for Meri and Janelle. And
not so much Meri.
Well, not so much Meri, but she will be involved. So she knows that.
There's all this exciting stuff going on, but Cody's completely excluded from all of it. And he knows that they know that he has FOMO. So how dare they do these things when they know how it's going to make him feel?
The way that everything comes back to it's things that are happening to Kody, everything is just a self-centered approach. Everything in his world, everything in his viewpoint is set to be what's happening to him. It's all these people who are punishing him, trying to get revenge on him. And it's just interesting because I think it shows more about his mental state and his mindset for how he would interact. Because is that what he would be doing? You would punish these people in these ways?
Is that why they're selling the Shira Chateau? I think that, again, makes us think, are they moving into a bigger, more expensive house? Because everything he does is just him trying to, I guess, get back at somebody or show how he's doing better.
Yeah, he can only fail up. And so he failed. He has 3 failed marriages now on his resume. And so he's really going to need to compensate for that, to make up for that gap.
It's just crazy that they're just going on and living their lives, the other women. And he's like, they're doing these things specifically to upset me.
And to make me look bad. it makes me look like an idiot. And it's like, no, you're pretty much doing that as a full-time job right now. You got it covered. You don't need any help in that category.
Also, the FOMO thing, I know everybody saw the clip of that came out, and the reaction was overwhelming, that people could not believe that he would say that. And I think the thing that he fails to see is that you excluded yourself from the lives of your wives and children for years. But that was on his own account. Like, that was his own decision. So I guess that's okay. But now that he's not part of their lives because they have left their marriages with him.
Well, he used to get like a dossier update where, yeah, it was like a quick rundown. So then he would at least have kind of a semblance of an idea of what was going on.
Stopped?
Yeah, he's missing his briefings now. He has his big boy panties. He doesn't do briefs.
He loves to say the big boy panties thing.
He brought it back this episode. I didn't like it.
No, we need to try to get some better sound bites. Tony. Tony does have better sound bites than Kody does.
Tony definitely.
The ice cream flavors.
Sound bite machine over there.
All right. Well, Meri is trying to get a teaser pulled out of this conversation. That's for sure. But can we talk about the fashions? I need to talk about the cheetah print shirt, the short sleeve turtleneck.
Well, I thought it was interesting that this is something that you were shitting on because this looks like something that you would wear in Vegas.
No, it does not. Well, I don't know why you think that.
Well, maybe not the shirt itself, but I feel like that pattern.
No, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
Look, I have nothing against an animal print. Well, I do. I take that back. I will not wear a zebra print. That's off limits. I
was going to say snakeskin too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you do that.
Don't really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Look, a good cheetah print, cute. This was not a cute cheetah print. Also, I never understand a short sleeve with a little like mock turtleneck situation.
See, I thought that your complaint was going to be that there wasn't enough bling about it. There weren't enough accessories to go.
You know what? Put some rhinestones on it. Yeah. And maybe you have glammed it up enough for Vegas.
Or even, like a necklace of some kind, perhaps a charm bracelet for your throat.
Yeah, she has stopped wearing her Fidelis necklace. Where is it? Because if you're going to sell it, Meri, like we may purchase it.
Oh, here's the thing. I feel like it would be so cathartic for her to melt that down.
Oh, yes. I hope she did. Can we do that?
Sweet, sweet justice.
Meri, if you haven't done that yet, that's a season 20 scene that we want, is you taking it somewhere to melt it down. We want to watch the flames engulf it.
In the fires of Mount Doom.
She's got to catch Brandy up on what's been going on. She tells her all about that anniversary dinner that she had with Kody, where he proceeded to tell her that he never, ever, ever loved her, ever.
So it wasn't the murder tarp date. It was pretty close, though.
No, this was the dinner where he was like, so we're in agreement that we're going to keep pretending, right?
They didn't film this one, and Kody said a lot of stuff off the record that Meri made mental note of.
You know what she needed? The TikToks that we were obsessed with. What was that, like a couple weeks ago with the recorder? Where there was a woman recording like horrible conversations in her marriage.
Yeah, the tape recorder.
We needed that under the table.
I gave you 75 cents 4 years ago. That's a deep track. If anybody has seen that TikTok and knows what the fuck we're talking about right now, I would be wildly impressed.
We needed Meri to do that, though. You just got to start hitting record on things. Find out, can you record people secretly in Arizona? If not, go somewhere else for dinner.
Is it a two-party state? Is it a single party? I don't know. We'll have to look into the legality of it here. But if Kody already has signed a release to participate in filming, then if you get the crew involved, I think you're good. You just say it's for the show.
Would have a jinx situation where you put a mic on?
It's a hot mic. I love a hot mic. You know I love a hot mic situation.
Meri's not buying it, of course. He was deeply in love with her.
How deep?
Deep. They were in deep
That
together.
deep?
He wanted to get in deep. That's why he married her.
Oh, my God.
I mean, right?
Yeah, you think that was probably it.
So she's talking to Brandy, though. Like, I don't understand what he's saying, because what you're essentially telling me is you picked me out of a crowd. I could have been anyone. You just decided to force yourself to reciprocate my love for you and then proceeded to do that for 32 years.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of Robyn's story that she came up with, where there were so many suitors who were lined up. She had all of the options in the world to her, and she chose to destroy the Brown family. And now Kody's kind of rewriting history for himself where he never actually loved Meri. He just kind of pitied her and went along with this. But why, oh why, Meri's questions stand out here. Why would a single man do that?
He won't explain it either. He just tells the producer, hard pass on this question.
It happened.
Nope.
That's what's happened. I'm not
even going to address it anymore. I've talked about it ad nauseum with Meri when the cameras weren't around.
You know what? He's so used to ignoring Meri that now he's just ignoring questions about Meri in the same way.
That's fine. You know, all that means is that it's all going to be her narrative when you don't answer questions, right?
Yeah. So now he's messing up.
Wrong play.
Well, here, I think he knows it's better to not say anything because he cannot keep his story straight.
I don't think he knows that.
I don't think he can keep his story straight, and I think he knows that. So he knows it's better to not come up with all these different excuses because all of them are bullshit. We'll be able to punch a hole in every single fucking reason that he gives.
Because he's already said them all to Christine.
He's cooked. He's done. Yeah, he's repeating his complaints with each wife. It was all on Meri, and then all of that shifted to Christine, and now it's shifting to Janelle. So he just rotates through the same excuses, and we just keep punching holes in them.
Why did they play tribal council music over the photos of Kody and Meri?
No, it was more like a Western. It was like a standoff. It was like a shootout at the OK Corral.
Okay. Well, Meri is in her camo in all of her talking heads. Like, she came ready. She's dressed for the Brown family Civil War.
Oh, that must be it. Well, they didn't wear camo in the Civil War, but well, maybe for the Brown family Civil War, they will.
I don't know.
Meri is, I guess. I mean, she's setting the tone here. But yeah, it was very fistful of dollars for me with the soundtrack. It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a spaghetti Western. Maybe it's like a bomb lasagna Western.
Oh, you know what? A spaghetti Western, though. Janelle would love it.
No, did you catch that?
I got it. I got the bomb lasagna.
Okay, bomb lasagna. I thought that one was going to hit a little bit better.
Nope.
That's that's for Robyn's sake.
Stuck thinking about how much Janelle probably loved the music that we're trashing right now.
Wah, wah, wah.
She recognized it from a movie. Well, Meri started this family, and she wants credit for it. And she's tired of Robyn taking it.
I thought you were going to say she's going to be here to end it. She started this family, and she can end it.
Maybe that's why she left third.
Is that why? No, Janelle was third.
No, but she left third. Technically, Janelle kind of broke up with him before Meri did. Meri took a long time to get around to that conversation.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
She officially ended polygamy for them.
This is true. I'm loving this, Meri. I'm really enjoying this. This is good.
You like the dig about Robyn being, 10, 12? I like the pause where she was doing the math in her head about how old she was when they started this family.
Well, this is like Simone Biles level mental gymnastics that is going into rewriting this account of history, because you can't credit Robyn with all of the wonderful things that this family is because she wasn't here for so long. She was a child.
No, he built it with Meri, who he didn't love ever.
Yeah. We built this awesome, wonderful family, and then Robyn came in, and actually, she deserves all the credit because she's been here since she was 11 and a half spiritually.
Look, she had an artist draw a portrait, and that's it. She's been here since the beginning. Is Kody experiencing a midlife crisis?
I still say it's narcissistic collapse disorder here that's happening, more so.
So a mental crisis, a mentee B.
Yeah. He's got his own mentee B going on.
He's making excuses. He's saying he doesn't think that polygamy is fair to women.
He's pushing Meri away so that Meri leaves because he isn't allowed to leave Meri because that would be wrong. So let's just make life miserable for Meri, mentally torment her until she leaves on her own accord. But man, she was not getting that message.
That's the better way to go about it, right?
It's just so much more respectful. And it makes me look better in the long run. Does it? No, we've known that this was what was going on. That was the play.
She does finally seem to understand that that's what's been happening for years, that he's been trying to get her to leave. So we were right in a way that she was sticking around just to stick it to him.
In some ways, I think she was still hanging on for a while until she heard Suki say that stuff at the tell-all, when he was talking about how if she wanted to go marry somebody else, more power to you. I think it would make more sense. And she was like, whoa, those are private conversations between you and me, Kody. Why are you airing that out at the tell-all?
Brandi knows who the real victim is, though, the one who's been crying. It's not Kody shedding a tear over the end of this relationship with Meri. It is Robyn who needs to be consoled.
Yeah, we're guiding Robyn through the conversation at Coyote Pass. That was mostly what we were there for, making sure that she's able to handle this information accordingly. But what's next? You know, Meri's still writing that 7-page PDF at this point.
For Meri up, for Worthy Up.
For Meri's Worthy Up. I don't like that her initial idea here is that she's saying the lease is up in Flagstaff. I'm just going to move to the B&B in Utah. I would definitely not do that. Moving into Lizzie's Heritage Inn permanently, you know that Kody is going to hold it over your head and let you never hear the end of it, that was your plan all along when you bought it.
Oh, I can't wait for him to argue that is an asset that he didn't have a part of. So in return, he's keeping his piece of Coyote Pass that belonged to her.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to come up in the litigation. Yeah.
Man, I really want the lawyers to get involved. I'm really wanting to fast forward to that part of the season at this point. The rest of the conversation they have, it's just like Brandi feels like Meri's being a little too easy on Kody still. She's not talking that badly about him, as badly as he deserves, in her opinion. And Meri's surrounded by all these things from her marriage still. She's trying to figure out, what does she do with them? She's got all these Christmas decorations that she had every year from her grandma with pictures of the two of them. Like, does she just throw that stuff out? I think melting it down is the correct answer to her point earlier. Does she put out a solo Christmas card?
Well, not this year.
Like that freaky bitch Christine would? Because you know Christine would put out a card that was like, this has been the best year of my life. She didn't even go a year, though. David was on her Christmas card by time.
Right, yeah.
By the time that rolled around.
Either that or it would be like an Elaine Bennis Christmas card where she has a nip slip as part of it.
But that made me question, what have we been doing for all of these years? Has Meri been sending out Christmas cards signed Meri and Kody?
How do we get on this mailing list? What do I got to do? I do like that they were taking some of the things that were being said and they were flashing back with the receipts, because Meri was talking about the spiritual marriage that they've had that they were barely clinging to for the last 10 to 12 years. It's been bad for a very long time. But then also going back to the very first episode where we're hearing the manic Kody Brown character that we were introduced to, talking about how love should be multiplied, not divided. And that was their whole story.
She did address the fact that it was not fair to the viewers that they have been presenting this untrue story for all of these years.
Yeah, you want to talk about polygamy not being fair. It hasn't been fair to Meri the past few years.
But isn't that what makes this show fascinating to people? Was that for years, everyone felt like they were not telling us the truth. And then slowly, we've been watching it all come out. And that is the compelling part of the show.
Because now it's going to be the land grab. That's what we're going to go to. Because Meri's not giving up on her share of Coyote Pass.
We got to settle the Brown family estate.
Very much so. Yeah, because what are you going to do? There's all this land out there. Brandi was even making jokes. Maybe they're going to have plenty of room to build a big old house and maybe get some new wives out there.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Meri even shuts that down too. I don't think so. No way. The real question is, what if Robyn leaves? Then it's going to be Kody Pass out there solo.
Oh, he would keep the whole thing.
Yeah, obviously.
1,000%.
And just go fully insane with prairie dog plague infesting in his brain.
And that's kind of where we left them off. It's just like, will Kody regret this one day? Probably not.
Meri deserves better. So let's get her on that redemption arc. And that's what this is setting up for this season. Let your freak flag fly.
Who? For Christine?
Well, for Meri.
Oh.
Because we already know Christine's been waving that freak flag.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time for Meri to get maybe her petty. We need petty Meri. Because she was talking about how she doesn't want to be vindictive. She doesn't want to say things that are mean.
Be vindictive.
Please, be wrath.
We're here for it.
Be justice.
Next episode, Janelle considers leaving Flagstaff for good as she and Maddie look at land in Montana. Kody learns that Meri is asking their church for a release, their religion's word for a divorce. Christine and Aspen throw Isabel a welcome home party. Sounds like a slow start.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm interested in the release stuff, though, because they've been so secretive around the ongoings of their church that if Meri's able to get a release, then shouldn't Christine and Janelle be able to get one too?
Yeah, but is it worth going through that process?
Well, I guess we'll see. Is it that big of a hassle?
Who do you ask? I thought that their church had kind of collapsed at this point, and they were definitely excommunicated pretty much from the start of the show, so I don't know who she's asking.
I guess we'll find out. Maybe she'll get ghosted. No one will reply to her.
Good luck, babe.
She's used to it. Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned. Share with friends. See you next time.